Watch this before summoning for the new LF Ultra Instinct Sign Goku. I know many people are very hyped, myself included, to summon for the new LF Revival Ultra Instinct Sign Goku. But before then, before the banners go live, we're going to be making this video going over whether you should summon or not. Right off the bat, I know this is going to be almost a no-brainer for many people just because, you know, Ultra Instinct Sign Goku, especially a revival. He was a very anticipated unit, right? Many people, like I said, myself included, wanted this unit to come, and specifically this one, right? The Super Saiyan Blue reviving into UI Sign with that, you know, Spirit Bomb animation, everything that, right? like that, right? So he's a very anticipated unit, so it's pretty hard for me to say for people not to summon, right? And this was the same case with, you know, Ultra Gogeta Blue. These are some of the units that you really almost can't not summon, right? There's just that level of hype, and I would completely understand if people decide to summon on it. But like I always say, if you're someone that's on the fence about summoning for this, you know, maybe you don't have enough CC, maybe, you know, he's not gonna fit your teams or whatever, maybe this video can help you make that decision. So that's what the purpose of these videos are for. Most people already are like ready and set to go and summon, so for those people, like, there's really nothing I can say that can change your mind, but it's just to inform you on what you're getting yourself into. So for this, we're gonna be going over a couple different things here. I have the original Ultra Instinct Sign Goku pulled up here because he's gonna have the exact same tags. So his main tags, actually he does buff God Key, Universe Rep, and Saiyan. So his main team's obviously going to be Universe Rep and God Key, so let's have them opened up here. Universe Rep on a complete tear right now, non-stop buffs for them, having, you know, Android 17 a top 3 unit, Ultra Hit a top 5 unit arguably, Jiren's still solid, Ultra Kaioken Goku is still decent, UI Goku is decent, but, you know, Ultra Hit is obviously a better option. These guys potentially going to be getting a Zenkai soon, you know, Super Saiyan Blue evolved in UI Sign. And obviously, you know, EX18, Golden Frieza is still decent. So they have a lot of good stuff here. And the biggest missing link here, obviously, would be Green, right? They have the Angel Golden Frieza, but, you know, he's kind of power crept at this point. Same with God Topo. And you really don't run anything here, right? And this Goku coming in with being green, also being a range type, which is perfect because this team is very range-based. And also being a revival, right? Because right now in the meta, there's a lot of units that can just straight up nullify endurance. Obviously, 17 does a good job at removing that effect from Gogeta Blue, but there's still other units like the androids, Rose. They can still do this without being canceled, right? And I would say Rose, he's decently relevant in the meta, so it's still an option. So is tag droids. I would say they're decently relevant, but not to the same extent as Ultra Gogeta Blue, right? And even with Ultra Gogeta Blue, there are certain cases where, let's say you use a rush and then you switch over to 17, well then his ability won't pop off, right? Because you need to be in the battlefield when he activates it. So there's still certain scenarios where that happens. And in those cases, you know, Revival Goku would come in clutch. So for Universe Rep, if you're deciding to main a Universe Rep, which at this point you can pretty much be a Universe Rep main, especially with these two units already dropping, and then Jiren also, or you could just leader slot UGB or something like that. Universe Rep with this addition of this Goku, if he's like as good as these two units, is looking like it could potentially be the best unit team in the game. Like not even like lying or anything. Like that's how good this team is right now. 17 is just insane. So if you're Universe Rep main and you have these two units, I think UI Sign might be a really good choice for you to summon on. Now obviously these units being dropped back to back makes it hard for people to summon because they have to keep up with the CC. So if you're a free-to-play player and you summon on both these banners, it's going to be tough for you to summon on this because you probably don't have that much CC. But the good thing is we're just entering the celebration, and based on the reveals, we're going to be getting a lot of CC in the upcoming weeks. So that's a really good sign. So that's, you know, it's a good sign for you to summon on this banner. So Universe Rep main, definitely probably going to be a good summon for you. So next we got God Key, and this is where if you're a God Key main, I implore you to summon on this banner. By the way, I didn't mention this, but we don't have the banners yet. I guess we can go over what I think the banners are going to be. I will obviously have a pinned comment when I do get information on what the banner units are going to be. But if we just go based off of what we got last year, because this Jiren was also the first banner to drop for the 60 million user celebration. So it could be very similar in the way like the units are. So let's say, for example, this is a very universal survival saga themed banner, right? Jiren, full Hakai Beerus, UI Sign, Super Saiyan Blue Evolved. The thing you have to keep in mind is for the 17 banner, you had Evolved and Jiren both on the banner, right? And then for the hit banner, you had Evolved and UI Sign on that banner. So I don't know if they want to bring in these two units again on this banner, because they dropped them so often already in these rerun banners. Not rerun banners, but in these latest banners. So Super Saiyan Blue Evolved just literally dropped twice. So it's hard for me to actually put them as a candidate to drop on this banner. I don't know. It's possible they can drop MUI Goku on this banner, since he does still fit the team, and he's MUI. But I personally would have thought they were gonna put UI Sign, but he just dropped way too often. Same with Jiren. I don't think they're gonna return Jiren since they just brought him back for the 17. Like, I don't think so. So if we take a look at this banner here, right? Even this one, like, if you just take a look at the LFs, all the LFs are just trying to be centered around the, like LF Kid Buu was a year old at that point. This guy was a year old. So if we take a look at what was a year old during this time, it would be Jiren. It would be Jiren or Bardock. Bardock has an opportunity to come back. Who else? Cooler hasn't returned ever so far. Cooler hasn't returned yet, so he has a really good chance of coming back. I don't think any of the Legends Festival units are going to be coming back. They just left, so I don't think they're going to be coming back. So it's looking pretty hard to kind of guess what units are going to come. So, like I said, once we get info on what units are going to be on the banner, I will put it in the pinned comment. So stay on the lookout for that. So let's go back to God Key. God Key as a team has been begging for this type of unit to drop. They have no endurance unit. They have no revival unit. So, and obviously I mean meta relevant units, right? This is an absolute must summon for God Key mains. You already have a solid foundation with Ultra Gogeta Blue, Zamasu. I mean, honestly, that's pretty much it, I guess, right? So that's pretty much it. Anyone else here? Like, yeah, that's pretty much it. And so if you add in these Goku, that would make it a pretty nasty setup there. Imagine running Ultra Gogeta Blue, Zamasu, and this Goku. Zamasu having endurance, Goku having revival, and then Ultra Gogeta Blue being an absolute monster. Like, that is a nasty setup right there. And they will probably eventually Zenkai buff this Zenkai awaken this UI Sign. I would assume somewhat soon, or this evolved. I think those two are the best candidates for getting the next LF Zenkai. So that would further reinforce this team. Now, obviously, these two are very blast heavy. Well, actually, this guy's strike oriented. This guy's blast heavy. Actually, his strike attack is also actually balanced. So they're actually balanced offensively. So it doesn't really matter. We don't know the stats of the new UI Sign Goku yet, but hopefully he's somewhat balanced as well, because Gogeta is obviously more strike oriented. This guy's a defense type, which he can go either way. So it's actually not too bad, because this team is pretty balanced in the way they want to attack, right? So, dude, God Key, this is the unit. This is the unit that you have been waiting for so long. So don't miss out on this opportunity. Like, even if you have very little CC, grind up as much CC as you can and just summon for this. This is given that you're a very hardcore God Key main. Not like people that are like maining other teams and then God Key is just on the side, right? Like, you can still summon for him, but for hardcore God Key mains, this is like a must summon. And then when it really comes down to any other teams that you want to main, like, obviously it's not as important to summon for him, but you can still, I would say he's a decent leader slot unit just because of the revival, right? So if you main any other teams, probably you can just go in for like a rotation, maybe a couple multis. I always like say, do a couple multis just to test your luck, especially the first couple of steps since they're reduced. You could test your luck there, and then if you want, you could push it to a rotation. And if you don't get lucky, well, that's how it works. One last thing I want to touch up on is the 60 million user campaign that we got last year, which started off with Jiren, and it extended to Ultra Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku. Now, I have no doubt in my mind this is probably going to continue. This trend is going to continue with the 70 million user campaign, where in probably a couple weeks, we're most likely going to get another Ultra unit. So keep that in mind as you go summon for this unit, because if you're someone that for whatever reason just wants all the Ultra units or something, just keep that in mind that we're most likely going to be getting another Ultra unit in the next couple of weeks or something. And you know, Ultra units are Ultra units, right? They end up being some of the most crazy units in the game, so it's something to keep in mind, of course, right? So that's pretty much it. Like I said, if you want a quick recap, Universe Rep mains and God Key mains, I think this is a must summon for you. Anyone else, you can probably get away with not summoning on it, or if you want, you can throw in a couple multis here and there and just test your luck. So just want to let you guys know, I will, like I said, update the pinned comment with the featured units on it, so that it will give you a better idea of how good the banner is going to be. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and don't forget to subscribe. It's so important, so don't forget. Other than that, have a great day. See ya.